Hey everyone, welcome back to another day trading recap video. Today is Thursday, the 26th of May, and unfortunately it's a red day here for me. There wasn't a lot going on. I tried a few trades looking for continuation. Of course, there wasn't any. It's been really slow. If you range trade right now, I think you'd be doing better off, but I just don't want to pivot so much. I know I just really need to give the market time, and I could use this time to also just relax a little bit more, catch up on other things. For example, let me show you guys here in my trading screen. I took a little screenshot here. I got 6 internship interviews coming up right in 2 hours. So noon Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. my local time at the moment. So I'm going to be kind of busy here, and I should have wrapped up earlier, but I figured I would watch the market a little bit and at least till 10, see what's going on. But unfortunately, nothing popped up. I was able to walk away with a win on. So yeah, I'm down 248 today. Not a big deal. Unfortunately, it's with BKSY, the big winner from yesterday, and it's holding its highs pretty well. I was looking for those continuations, but we didn't see it, and that's where I kept losing on. But small size, so it's totally fine. I'll actually probably start with BKSY first, but before we dive into the tickers, I did want to mention really quickly here that May tends to actually be my slowest month. This is when I typically just don't get a lot of action. It's kind of like the beginning of summer a little bit. You could just feel a lot of people taking off. Plus, the whole market in general is just really sluggish right now. And then I typically tend to do slowly better and better. Now, last year in October, I had a huge mishap because I was traveling a lot. I was exhausted. This was just a bad month for me personally. The market was good, or there was opportunity. It was a little choppy, but there's a lot of opportunity. I just did really bad in October. But in general, I do have tend to have a pretty somewhat of an upside pattern. Also, by the way, this is 2 years of data based on my day trading Momo account, which is the one I transitioned to about 1.5 or 2 years ago, right around mid-June. So this is almost 2 years of data right here after the 25K challenge. And then one more thing before we actually talk about the ticker I traded today, GameStop is really right now in Wall Street bet. It's crawling to the top of the trends. You can see here GME. Where is that one? That's this line right here. So GME is crawling to the top. It's been mentioned a lot more lately in Wall Street bets. You can see here its recent percent change is 887%, pretty big. And then you can kind of see AMC here. It's kind of like a little cousin in a way. It always kind of moves sometimes like GME does. And today, I know there was a few people trading AMC in our chat room, and I was looking at it, but I wasn't really getting super aggressive on it myself. I actually did not trade it. Let me just start with AMC, and let's look at this one really quick here. And actually, a really good way to start is actually looking at GME, and because they're always kind of similar. So this ticker had that huge breakout, remember, early last year, and then it's kind of been consolidating a little bit to the downside lately, but it's still over the 180-day SMA. So it's actually holding its highs pretty well, like pretty surprisingly well, I would say. But although it looks like it's holding its highs well, it's actually pulled back from the all-time highs about 85%. Right now, it's back around 70%. While AMC is actually a similar story, even though it looks much worse. And this pullback is also around like 85%, but it's still down roughly like 82% or so. So if AMC was going to follow GME a little bit, if there's somewhat of a correlation there, maybe we're going to see a little bit more bullish action on AMC coming up here. So let's go to the 5-minute and see how this one's been performing. We've had a really nice bottom form around 10 and 20% all the way to this big resistance zone around 13. And now it's having a lot of tough time, but the volume is increasing, so it's actually kind of interesting. Not to mention the SPY is, chugging along healthy right now as well. So there is a little bit of bullish momentum. I kind of feel it right now. I don't know how much more it's going to continue. Right now, the 9 EMA trend on the SPY keeps whacking down the price every time we enter this area. So it's a little bit sketchy in this area for sure, but we have a lot of large caps that are all starting to hold their highs after that big rally. I mean, Coinbase had a 70% move, and now it's really holding this area, and I feel like it's going to try maybe one more attempt to break higher. I don't know if it's going to hold, and maybe we're going to see that on some of these other tickers like AMC and GME as well. So could be a play. I'm not going to swing trade it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw AMC and GME a bit more in the next few days. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the tickers I traded today. This should go pretty quickly. BKSY. This ticker we talked about a lot more aggressively in yesterday's recap video. My thoughts have not changed on it, so if you want to learn more about how I feel in this ticker, I would definitely recommend jumping over to yesterday's video. What I try to do on this ticker is quite simple. We had a 5-minute breakout here. I jumped in on this 5-minute breakout. I actually made a little bit of profit here, but my size was very small. And then we had a nice 5-minute pullback flag pattern. I went for it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And then it actually did pop back up here. I went for the pullback, and again, it didn't work out. So 2 losses there that erased my smaller profit right here. It was kind of annoying. I felt like there was opportunity, but I felt like at the same time, this is a little bit like taking stabs in thin air. So I got kind of punished for that. I should have known a little bit better. It wasn't a perfect front side yet, but technically it was starting to be on a front side here. So I felt comfortable taking stabs at it. And this is what I mean right now. It's a little bit more advantageous to trade the range a bit more, trying to finding key support zones. For example, if you go to the 5-minute chart with BKSY, you could really see this 5-minute support much nicer around 220. So just accumulating on these support zones and selling into pops. It's a good, safe way to trade, especially when the market's ranging a little bit more like it is now. But it's just not my favorite way to trade. It's a little bit slower, and it's just not the best risk reward. So I'm not stoked about that trading strategy, and I won't be pursuing it. But there was a time, especially during the 25K challenge, where I was doing this a lot, and this was like my bread and butter. So I do like it, but I like the front side strategy much, much more. And I think for me, I'd rather just be patient and wait for things to heat up a little bit. Let's keep going here to GOVX. Yeah, I took a few stabs at this one, but it really didn't amount to much. We had a quick pop here. I went for that breakout, but we didn't have any more continuation, so this ticker was dead. This ticker's been popping up so much the last few days, so we even made 2 videos specifically on this ticker alone. I don't really want to review it much more, but hey, it's actually holding somewhat of its gains. And then we have SPRC, slightly green on this one, but it's ultimately a scratch. Unfortunately, my trades are not popping up on this ticker, but I did trade this breakout here as it was popping up pre-market, and then I just took profits really, really quickly. I was hoping we'd hold our highs a little bit more and have a nice continuation, but yeah, it dumped so hard. It didn't even really hit this big resistance zone ahead of it. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. It really sums up what we've been seeing across the board. Just like a quick gap or pop up, and then it doesn't hold its highs, and then it sells off, and it's like, ugh. Okay, so that's why I'm not really getting so aggressive right now. Pause off, wait for better days. I got to get to these internship calls. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning. Like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.